What's up YouTube? It's your favorite cloud chaser Oaken64, coming at you with a new video in my Less Buff Blank series. Today we are doing a double feature in this video, covering 2 Pokemon instead of 1. Thank you, I'll be here all week. Today we are talking about 2 Eeveelutions. One's of near opposite in terms of typing, but similarly awful in terms of viability. Yes, we are talking about both Flareon and Glaceon. Sorry Leafeon and Jolteon fans, maybe next time. Most of my friends know me as somebody who doesn't particularly like the Eeveelutions. I do have a favorite, it's Sylveon by the way. Heck, I didn't really like them at first at all, but I warmed up to them over time. As per usual, I'll split this video into 2 parts. The first one is where I give these 2 more reasonable buffs, where I try to be more conservative with how I increase its stats, and give minimal additions to its move pool. The second is where I will not be abiding by any rules, and I will apply buffs where I see fit. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. We should start with both of these Pokemon's viabilities. How have these Pokemon stood the test of time as 2 members of the Eeveelution family? When Flareon first stepped onto the scene, it boasted a massive 130 attack stat, seconded by a respectable base 110 special defense, and it was a fire type in Generation 1, so it couldn't take advantage of its primary attacking stat. So from Generations 1 to 3, it couldn't hit as hard as it wanted to, often running double edge just to get some return on its high attack stat. Generation 4 not only did give Flareon access to the physical and special split, but the new item in the choice scarf, allowing it to beef up its lackluster speed to a level where it could get the jump on faster Pokemon. Except that it didn't get the new fire type recoil move Flare Blitz, and wouldn't get access to it until Generation 6, where a Pokemon of its caliber had been power kept out of the metagame ages ago. It didn't fare much better in Gen 7 and 8, where it has stayed a ZU staple due to its poor defensive and offensive profile, a shallow move pool, lackluster speed, and poor bulk. Generation 9, like many other Pokemon, allowed Flareon to terrestrialize into another typing, allowing it to favorably shift the type chart to its advantage. Flareon can terrestrialize into a normal type to get a facade stab boost, or to a grass type to avoid its weaknesses as a fire type, but its core problems still remain, which Flareon's icy brethren can also relate to. Glaceon is an ice type, which even from the best of them, provided a major challenge for it, being plagued by weaknesses, one being Stealth Rock, an entry hazard that was difficult to remove at the time, and many other ice types it had to compete with. While Glaceon boasted a high special attack set and a more defensive stat line than Flareon, meaning it could theoretically take more hits when it wasn't being hit hard super effectively, it was also very slow and didn't have a wide move pool. Unfortunately for Glaceon, it would not really get any new additions to its move pool, being stuck with hidden power for generations until it lost it in Generation 8, where the addition of other ice types being pushed down to ZU meant that it couldn't compete, as its bulk was not enough to supplement its lackluster speed, and it fell out of the metagame, becoming yet another unviable ice type. These 2 Pokemon have very similar strengths and weaknesses. They lack a good defensive profile, a wide move pool, and are in a miserable speed tier. While they do hit extremely hard, their best moves come with a caveat. Flare Blitz is a recoil move, and Flareon's HP is low, and Blizzard, while not being a recoil move, has an extremely low accuracy outside of snow. To go more in depth on Flareon's weaknesses, it wears itself down way too much. Being forced to use a recoil move on top of using Guts is really taxing, especially for something weak to Stealth Rock. Glaceon's abilities don't benefit it outside of snow. While that might be fine because the defense boost is nice, it has to compete with other ice types who also get that and better abilities like Slush Rush, or other ice types that are just faster or bulkier who would rather take the trade-off in power for more speed. So what do we do to make these Pokemon more viable? I spent a lot of time thinking about it. Defining their roles better as the powerhouses of the Eevee family is the idea in my head. They're the ones with 130 in their attack stats as well as Espeon, but they can't take advantage of it. Noting how the Eeveelutions have the same base stat totals and stat numbers, but just in different arrangements, I thought the simplest thing would be to just swap them around, and I did exactly that, as you'll see in both sections, that I made sure to keep the trend of keeping the Eeveelution stat line present. For Flareon, I think providing it with a good speed boosting move would do wonders for its setup potential. Giving it agility while swapping its HP and special attack would allow it to take more of a hit, without making it as fast as Espeon. To make it bulkier, I would add the ability Fluffy to its repertoire, removing its fire resistance in place for a better defensive prowess. This doesn't give it a level of defense that it would have liked, but being able to take more hits from certain sources means that it can dish out more Flare Blitzes. Glaceon's a bit strange, as I opted out of giving it Slush Rush, as 1, it's too obvious, and 2, I wanted to make an alternative path to making it viable. My decision was to either A, do I make it faster, or B, do I let it have more staying power. In this case, I chose the latter, noting that its stats already lean towards that. and making it more of a defensive powerhouse could be a strategy that ice types could be capable of, especially since the added defense buff, which is why I give it Analytic, as a way to make sure its Blizzard and Freeze Dry too can hit as hard as possible while utilizing its low speed to take hits, preferably in snow. I won't give it any move pool additions, as I think its shallow move pool is fine, given that it does not take recoil while spamming Blizzards or any of its moves. Now for the wilder buffs. I would swap Flareon's stats around so that it has 110 special attack, 65 special defense, and 95 speed, making it fast and frail. Next, I would give it Technician so that it can abuse its speed and low base power moves without having to worry about recoil. Move pool wise, I would also give it Flame Wheel and Bulldoze. Now this means that it can abuse its ability. It already gets Trailblaze, so it already has a notable way of boosting its speed without using Flame Charge. Additionally, I would give it access to Bulk Up so that it has a decent setup move to use in combination with its boosting moves. This turns it into a mixed attacker, the only evolution with this property, and an ability to help squeeze out more damage from moves with special secondary properties like Bulldoze, Flame Charge, and Trailblaze. Its weaker defenses lead it to getting Revenge Kill by priority, which I would much rather prefer than going second in a fight anyways. Glaceon on the other hand would not mind taking the hits, as I would give it a new ability, Frost Coat, which would kind of be a mix between Ice Face and Gulp Missile, where it would be able to take any special attack when it is first sent out into battle. When Glaceon gets hit by a special attack, it takes no damage. It also fires the shards the opponent broke off, damaging the opponent for 25% of their health. The ability can be reset if Glaceon is switched into Snow, or if Snow is active when it is in its decloaked form. Move pool wise, giving it Earth Power would be an ideal addition to its repertoire, as it can now better hit all of its weaknesses bar fighting, which it gets Alluring Voice for. And the passive defense buff of being an ice type would allow it to be more prominent in snow teams as something different, apart from a snow setter or slush rush abuser. My way of using it in singles would be on hail teams of course, where you can spam Blizzard and Earth Power with little resistance, switching it on special attackers and doing reasonable chip damage to them, and resetting it while setting the hail later in the match. In doubles, it can be used as a spread move sponge, allowing it to stomach a spread move for free and fire back with any move of its choosing. Even without Blizzard backing it up, a base 130 special attack still hurts, especially since it has access to the rare Freeze Dry, which can clean through bulky waters, and Earth Power can nab regular fire types. Additionally, since it's on the slower end of the evolutions, it can be used in Trick Room in a pinch. These two now have a different purpose from the other evolutions. Flareon is a fast mix attacker with the ability to bolster its weaker moves and make itself faster. Glaceon gets a barrier to block special moves and has a unique place in hail teams as an extremely powerful punisher, dealing a lot of damage with its ability plus its sky high attacking stat and preventing damage. I finally reached 100 subscribers. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of just flabbergasted that I actually reached even 100. I think my videos still have a lot to go in terms of quality. It means a lot to me that y'all at least stick around to watch my stuff, even though I don't upload as often as I'd like. But a deal's a deal. When I'm done streaming Final Fantasy VI on my Twitch, link here somewhere, I'll start on Pokemon Reborn, and after that, I'll make a full-fledged review on it. Stay tuned for that. There'll obviously be videos in the meantime. I still have ideas on the Power Creep video, and I still have ideas for more Pokemon that I want to buff. But yeah, thanks for watching. This is Oaken64, signing out.